Taurus. Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. We're talking about July, which is crazy to me that we're already talking about July. I hope that June has treated you well, is treating you well. I feel like already, like this deck, the Medicine Woman Tarot, it's like the best feeling deck that I own. But I feel like it even feels different for you guys for some reason. It honestly just feels like light and airy. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm really curious to see what the message is that comes out, and if it also feels that way. I don't know if light and airy is the way that I feel. I am also a Taurus. Oops. It is interesting that in every reading that I've done so far with this deck, I've shuffled it a million times, like, and I've wanted to, and I shuffle it between readings too. So so we're just gonna shuffle and shuffle and shuffle until the feeling that it's ready to go. I carry this deck and the guidebook as a set in my Etsy store. So if you feel connected to it and want to work with it yourself, there's a code in the description below for a discount. Okay, just a couple more. Generally, when the cards start popping out like that, I know it's ready to go. So, okay. I heard in my head, stop. Let's see. What's the message for Taurus for July? Ooh, we have the Emperor with command, strength, or healing, Seven of Pipes or the Seven of Wands, Two of Pipes or the Two of Wands, Nine of Arrows or the Nine of Swords, and Three of Pipes or Three of Wands. And then we have the Ace of Arrows or the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Great. So I don't know if this necessarily feels light and airy, like I was saying, but it does seem to be kind of this invitation. What is going on here? Okay. Like I have to constantly be touching the cards. Like I just can't stop in any way. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it doesn't necessarily feel like light and airy, but it does have this like feeling of, there's this like invitation to go for something. So we start with the Emperor or command in this deck. And the Emperor traditionally talks about, you know, it's the divine masculine energy. I've heard it described as being all of the kings in one card, you know, like just kind of encompassing all of those energies. And the kings are the highest expression of each suit, right? So if you have the energy of the highest expressions, right? You know, it's the culmination of that. But, you know, there's an energy of initiating and going for something. it talks a lot about structure. And even just this word command here, right? Like really taking hold of your own destiny. And like I said, like this energy of like going for something. The Two of Wands here, I mean, you could have been in this energy of almost like kind of this contemplation. Wands generally talk about action, communication. I see the Wands as being information cards too, like either receiving information or giving it. You know, there's this level or this quality of experience through action, because how do you gain experience or knowledge without actually doing something, like getting your hands dirty, right? So the Two of Pipes obviously would come right after the Ace, right? So the Ace is like that spark. And the Two is like, okay, so I have this spark, I have this desire to do something, I found this kind of passion. Now what? Like, how do I want to manifest that into the world? And, you know, that's kind of where you're at with the Two. It's clearly at the beginning of the journey, right? So it's even kind of formulating, like, how do you want this thing to expand? Like, what do you want the structure to look like? How are you going to take command of the thing? And either you have been in this energy for some time, because I myself am a Taurus, and I feel like for Tauruses, we do spend a little bit of time in this energy of like formulating and, you know, kind of trying to intuit or imagine, you know, kind of all of the possibilities, right? Because, you know, I mean, we are represented by the bull. Bulls are kind of hard to move if they're like grounded in place, right? But it's also one of those energies of once we move, it's like we can really like kind of move mountains, right? Like we have that goal and energy, right? To like move things forward. But it's also like, you know, we need to have enough information in order to feel comfortable doing that. So again, you know, like just this energy here, like it could have been something like you might be, like I said, like even just kind of formulating, like trying to kind of put together a plan on how you want, like you're maybe even developing the structure. Okay, sorry, I have got my laundry going and the dryer was kind of distracting. So right in this energy, I mean, like this even, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be an energy that you've been in. This could be an energy that you're going into. Like if there is some sort of change that you're looking for, regardless of the scale of it, right? It doesn't have to be a massive thing. It can be, doesn't have to be, but either it's an energy that you've been in for some time or you're going to be going into in July. And then we have strength here or healing in this deck. I kind of want to look it up in the book on this one. This is the guidebook. Let's see. The affirmation says, all of my desires have aligned with my highest ideals. Thus my presence heals. I look forward with confidence to the eternal splendor of my love-filled life. Strength is the quality present in me when my mind and heart are working in the same direction. I have learned how to place my desires like a chain of roses, one intertwined with the other in a mutually compatible arrangement. I have rejected those desires that interfere with my main purpose in life, and I have seen how my talents and abilities, my deep felt longings, and soul needs can all work together for my highest good. I have learned to use my creative imagination, trying out different arrangements until I see how I can transform what appears to be an obstacle into a benefactor. I live within you. As you work with changing the patterns in your own life, becoming conscious to your choices, you feel me grow. The energy I have to give you is infinite. Only the mind interferes by its limiting thoughts. As you change them, you open the door to my unabounded love and healing force. I love that. And I feel like it's so perfect to come after this first row here. Because, you know, I love that it was talking about the heart and mind working in the same direction. And maybe that's even what you've been or will be working on here. That could be what the structure is, like kind of getting things, like it says, in alignment. You know, strength talks about determination. Sorry about that. Strength talks about determination and perseverance. It's that inner strength. It's not physical strength. But it is, you know, like, you know, I'm getting this feeling of like not letting go of whatever this, I don't want to call it a dream, but whatever this desire is over here. Like, don't, you know, kind of talk yourself out of it almost. Like, really kind of allow yourself to formulate a plan on how to do it and see it through here. Like, get clear on your heart and mind, you know, like bring those two things together. We have the 9 of Swords here, which generally talks about like anxiety, losing sleep at night. But it's interesting. So, you know, like this person is blindfolded. They have, you know, this bow and arrow situation here. I think my second cup of coffee has like got my hands jittery. That's so funny. But it's interesting how they're shooting this arrow towards the 2 of Pipes. I want to find, let me see. I want to find the Pipes arrows. Here we go. 9 of Arrows. There's the prayer and then the lesson. The world appears to oppress its people. Darkness abounds, yet you penetrate those clouds of worry and fear by aiming into the light. You do not need to see all answers or have all solutions before you act. Just point your heart toward good. Perhaps you found something you did not expect. You have looked into the darkness and found your own greatest fear. The prayer says, I can see through sorrows. I can see through struggles. What I find is mind. The mental concepts, the attitudes, the beliefs I hold, I cherish for what they have allowed me to do. But I also see that they are simply ways of perceiving reality and not reality itself. The only reality is ultimate harmony, and troubles are simply trips the mind is taking. As I stumble on the path, I put myself down and pick myself up by the way I value each step. I am way above rules, though not above using them. I am deeply respectful of all that is. I laugh at all that isn't. Even blind, I can see that worries are clouds drifting past eternity. I love that. See, I love this deck. It's such a beautiful take on the journey through tarot. Because, you know, even like I said, it's, you know, the arrow is pointing towards this Two of Pipes, which, you know, kind of feels like the light that it was talking about. But also, you know, like not allowing yourself to burst your own bubble before it even, you know, like has a chance of actualizing. But really figure this out. But also, like I said at the beginning, I feel like there is this invitation here to really actually go for it. Like, you know, if you kind of get in the energy of thinking about things too much, like there's kind of a thin line between, you know, kind of wanting to formulate how you want the structure to be, or even, like I said, you know, trying to intuit or trying to figure out every which way that a situation can unfold. But there comes a point where it's almost like you're just keeping yourself, like you're blocking your own blessings. Because there comes a point where you literally just have to do it. And that's what the Three of Wands is. But, right, so it's like, trying not to get stuck in this formulating part, because there's going to come a point, like I said, where formulating is done and the only thing that is left to do is to actually do the thing. And this feels like it's time to do the thing. Literally set the structure up, whatever that means for you, whether that's buying the product that you need, if you want to try making stuff, if it's, you know, kind of writing a what is it called, not a table of contents, but an outline. Like, you know, if it's something like, if you want to start blogging, for instance, or if you want to start offering a service, for instance, right? Like, you know, formulating an outline. Because I know you've already been researching things. So now it's time to start putting a plan to action. And I know that's scary as shit. But we can do hard things, okay? Because we're Tauruses. We're built for it, literally. So it's almost kind of like, instead of the arrow pointing to the Two of Wands here, it's almost like pointing that compass towards the Three of Wands, which is going for it. It's, you know, the horizons expanding. It's having the enough information to where you feel like you can move forward. I mean, you know, like, and we'll talk about the Seven of Wands here. But, you know, like looking out on the horizon. And it almost even kind of looks like she's stepping into this reality, right? She's got one foot in the window there, one foot in the door. And the Seven of Wands talks about, traditionally it talks about, sorry about that. I don't know if it like keeps going out of focus. I apologize. The Seven of Wands talks about almost like being defensive, but like holding on to your vision, like not letting other people's or even your own like doubts and fears and opinions and blah, 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 projections, right? Like not allowing those things to almost like kind of control or become even part of how you feel about what you're doing. But it's almost kind of like defending that vision. In the book, it says, let go. Oh, well, it also says, doubt overcome by action, spirit freed. It says, let go. Success is but a moment's thrill. Do not be content to rest on the past, but celebrate all that was and all that was and is to come. It is easy to become complacent and to cease to expand. The more you can appreciate your achievements and quickly free your spirit once again to go on, the less the world will have to challenge your position. There is competition for places of power that are held stubbornly. You are going to be asked to move, to grow, to continue your journey of self-awareness. So don't become attached to one stopping point. Love it while you are there, but do not hesitate to act again. Debilitating doubts creep in at every level, stagnating the flow. Dance on them, lift yourself to new heights, and have the energy to experience and the experience to do so. Excuse me. You have the energy and the experience to do so. Sorry. A temptation when your position is challenged is to become angry or vindictive. This is a misuse of the valuable energy that is coming to you now. Eliminate envy by always leaving something for the next person to step into. A gift of your having been there first. Your protection is your ever-expanding vision that comes to include the good of all. This is a shield against jealousy and greed, against the destructive nature of anything that would seek to overcome you. You have nothing to lose if you continue to develop your skills and attune your guiding vision, your view of the best possible world and how you play a part in it. Your acts of devotion to your own form of sexual, creative, spiritual expression is all the rebel you will ever need to be. Set your spirit free. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, sorry. Beautiful. And I love how these two cards are even, like together, because it's like, hold on to that vision, right? Dance in it, right? I mean, like this, again, like this feels like that invitation to go for it. Like, it's saying you're going to be asked to expand and to grow and allowing that to happen. And that's what this Three of Wands feels like. Like I said, like, really stepping into what's next. And it's like the sky's the limit. It almost kind of seems like this is a blank canvas. Like you can decorate it however you want, right? Which is your life, right? Like you can do however you want to do with it. And then we have the Ace of Arrows or the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And this talks about, like new perspective, new inspiration. Swords have to do with our thoughts. Oh yeah. I was like, I knew that there was another sword on the table somewhere. I was trying to find it in the book because clearly I'm loving. Let's see. The prayer says, the arrow of the mind, I aim toward God. Bow in hand, I am ready for anything I encounter. So filled am I with daring. I welcome challenge. I have words to guide me. I have a voice that can be heard. I can see the distant target and feel certain of my aim. I have thought, and thought is my power. I have will, and I will do. From my mind, I weed all doubt, for the experience of life will be my teacher, and falling, I will pick myself up, noticing error. I will make correct. I can do what I will, for I trust the will of the highest, which is known within me. This is the card of original thought, the basic I am. It is the beginning of the power to will. Here you will discover your blueprint for this life's work. I will myself to be, brought you into this existence. Now you will get in touch with the form of life's reality. Now you will get in touch with the form this life's reality will take through your being. Very cool. Like I said, there's this feeling of it's time to actually do something. And I don't know if I've ever said this to you guys or but I've noticed that for myself, where I am very much one of those people that part of my process is totally overthinking, 100%. I got to this place where I have allowed all of the fear to come up, all of the fear, all of the doubt, all of the, how are people going to perceive me? All of the things, right? Anything that can and will hold me back. I allow those things to come up and I address them because I'm like, is this how I actually feel about myself? Or is this somebody else's fear or somebody else's doubt or just something that I've picked up along the way, right? And most times it's not mine. And but I have to kind of work through those things. And that's even starting this tarot channel. I mean, for months before I actually went for it, that's what I did. I was just in my process, and it finally came to a point where the only thing that I was scared of doing was actually doing it. And I was like, well, shit, I have to do it. I didn't even tell anybody that I did it until I think 2 or 3 months after I had a few videos out. I started telling my friends and posting on social media. And then I started my Etsy store and I shared that, so anyway, I'm just saying that, if you are kind of in this energy of you've been thinking about doing something, taking a leap for a while, or even starting a new process or starting something else, this is that invitation to actually start doing it. The thinking is done. All of the the 2 swords, we have 2 mind cards here, and the other minor arcana or suit cards are cards of action. So there's nothing here that's telling you to wait any longer. Even these 2 cards, the 2 major arcanas that we have here, are talking about, taking command, doing the thing, having the structure, right? Initiating, going for it, healing, having the strength, perseverance, determination, having a commitment to doing the thing, right? So, what are you doing? It's time to do it. That goes for me too. So, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.